Hey, everyone. Welcome back. This is Just a Thought Podcast. Shout out to Andre. Andre's gonna be here this morning. But yo, we have a special guest today. Before I introduce my guest, I want to let y'all know how my week has been going. Everything has been going good. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm happy. Um, the week has been solid. And I can't complain, man. I'm happy to have this person on, man. He's a longtime friend. We went to the same school together. He's got me out of situations like cutting my hair when my hair looked wild. But he's a homie of mine, bro. And like I'm glad we kept in touch. I'm glad to see him go through this journey, and I'm glad to see him progress in his life. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and let's get to it, man. Just a thought. Let's go. Who we got today, man? Special guest.
Yeah, so my name's Mike Atkins. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. Went to college at the University of Maine at Farmington. That's where I met my man Ray. Like you said, we just kept in touch from there on. We've been through a lot together, not just during the school scene, but also off of that as well, whether it's keeping in touch through social media and things like that. I also work at a middle school right now, helping kids in the special ed department. Also do basketball coaching on the side as well. So, I'm pretty much a jack of all trades, to say the most.
Yes, sir, man. I'm happy to have you on, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Let's dive into this, bro. Tell us a little bit about your basketball journey, man. I know you. I watched you play. One hell of a basketball player. I've seen you play in college. I loved your game, bro. I always was there to support you. But why basketball, man? Why was basketball your outlet? Like, bring us through your journey, bro.
Oh man, so basketball was just a thing that I picked up very early on, and honestly, I think it's just thanks to my parents. They basically put that ball in my hands from day one. And not just that, but around where I grew up, everybody was playing some kind of sport. It didn't matter if it was football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever. Basketball was just the thing that was right there on the block because everybody had a hoop, on the edge of their driveway or whatever. So that was the best way to connect. Especially not just that, but on the TV, basketball was always there. Whether it was and one or the NBA or anything like that, that was the way to go. And I fell in love with that. Not just with N1, but even watching Space Jam. Like I said, watching Michael Jordan, everybody wanted to be like Mike. And that was the first guy that I saw that kind of attracted me. I hooped through middle school. I hooped all the way up to high school. I became a pretty decent athlete at the high school level. Got recruited by a couple of Division I, Division II schools. Obviously, I went through, some hills and some things like that. Had a heart problem in my senior year of high school. And a lot of those scholarship opportunities kind of went away. And with that kind of gave me the opportunity to go to a place like University of Maine at Farmington, where I ended up getting recruited late in my career. So like I said, without that opportunity, I don't get a chance to meet a guy like you. I don't get a chance to travel out, outside of Texas in that regard. But I did. And I hooped at the collegiate level, hooped with a lot of different guys that I didn't really know anything about, hooped in a place that I wasn't really comfortable at to begin with.
Different.
Yeah, definitely different. But, like I said, I made something out of it. And, a lot of kids don't really get that opportunity where we come from. So just to be able to do that, it was something special, no matter how my career ended up. I'm always thankful for it, to say the least.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you sharing that, bro. Basketball has always been like a outlet for a lot of African Americans, bro. Like, we know that we, like you said, bro, a lot of us don't come from that much, and we use basketball as an outlet, and it helps us get our problems. It helps us get our problems off when we're playing, and I think it just gives us a good feeling, like there's hope. And
Exactly.
you were able to do. Not a lot of people not a lot of people are able to go play basketball in college and be able to see that different type of experience.
Right.
What was the difference between high school and college level? Like, was it a drastic difference, or was it like not? It wasn't so much of a difference. Like, what was the difference between high school ball, and college ball?
I'll be honest with you, man. My coach, I remember going through my junior and senior year of high school, my coach often told me that high school was going to be the time that I had the most pure opportunity to play this sport. And that was something I overlooked for a long time. And it really just went over my head. I didn't really, listen to any of it. But what he meant by that was that a lot of the stuff that we don't see behind the scenes kind of came out to play in college. So a lot of the politics, a lot of who you knew, a lot of where you were from, a lot of the color that you were, color of your skin, all that kind of stuff played into part when I went to college. Like I said, in high school, I had a great coach who taught me, anything that you could think of when it came to screens, how to read a defense, how to read an offense, how to run an offense. I knew it all. Going to college, nothing that was given to me was a surprise. I had seen it all. Very, very comfortable in anything that was given to me. But see, so now the problem is that when you get to the collegiate level, there's the politics start to play in a little bit. I was the only out-of-stater at the time. Coming from Texas, getting recruited to a place like Maine, they weren't really an organization that kind of pulled people from out of state. They looked really in-state to pull their resources and pull their kids. So that it was just basically an oasis for them, just to be basically to come and play right there and not have to worry about being far from home or anything like that. Whereas for me, it was totally different. I was, almost close to 40 hours from home. Wouldn't be able to see my family, wouldn't be able to see my daughter whenever I wanted to. Those are just different things that I dealt with.
We're in the middle of nowhere, brother. You know how we were in the middle of nowhere, man.
Hey, in the middle, in the sticks, man.
Literally, bro. The sticks, like only one McDonald's. It was so much. It was so much that we had, bro. We were definitely limited, bro. Definitely.
Exactly. And I mean, but the best part about that was we didn't have a lot of distraction.
True.
I mean, literally, you just went to school, you did your sport, and of course there was partying and other things on the side, but it was no distraction to get caught up in.
Yeah. That's true, yo. I can remember, bro, like them winters. I know you remember them winters, bro. When it was winter outside, brothers, we don't do the skiing, we don't do the snowboarding. You know how that go. Like, it was difficult, bro. And like, I'm glad that I wasn't the only one that like shared that experience, because I was like, yo, because when I came there a year before you, so it was really no brothers. Like, damn, like I'm in the middle of nowhere, it's cold as hell. Winters are brutal. Like, I'm glad you were able to understand what I was going through, bro. I'm glad,
bro. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, so I remember my first winter, I had a pair of windbreaker pants and I think some kind of coat, and it wasn't even a winter coat, man. It was just something, something light. And, that was my first actual time seeing actual snow. It wasn't like a little dusting. It was a blizzard, feet of snow higher than me. And I that was surprising and tough to deal with, man.
Yeah. Yo, so what was your hardest part about playing college ball? What was like the toughest thing you had to adjust to?
Toughest thing I had to adjust to. Honestly, bro, I would just say realizing that even though you work hard, you're not going to get the things that you ultimately deserve. I think that was the hardest part, because coming in, I felt that my skill level was way better than a lot of players that were ahead of me, whether they were juniors, seniors, sophomores, whatever. And I feel like I showed a lot of that, but just because of the fact that, like I said before, a lot of the politics and a lot of the other things, especially being from out of state, I had to take a back seat to the upperclassmen and kind of having to understand that, hey, like they have their opportunities now, and ultimately when they're said and done, I'll get my opportunities. And ultimately, when it came down to it, my junior and senior year, I didn't get those opportunities that I was kind of told that I was going to get. So having to adjust to that and, just understand where I was at that point and how I was going to be able to adjust at that point was probably the toughest for me. And not just only that, but, dealing with that and not being able to go, home and talk to someone close to me about the situation or anything like that. I mean, they could go home and talk to their parents. They can go home, talk to their grandma and grandpa, whatever. I didn't have that opportunity. It was kind of just me and kind of my close friends around me. So, I would say that's definitely my hardest part when it came to college hoop.
Yo, because you're a point guard. Give me your top 5 point guards all the time.
Top 5 all time.
Top 5 all time. PG.
Ah, man. I gotta go Magic.
Is CP on that list? That's the real question.
So I got Magic. In any order, it has to be in order.
Ask me in order, brother. We ain't doing. Come on, brother. Come on.
I'm gonna go with Magic at 1. Of
course. 6'9".
I'm gonna go with. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna go AI at 2.
AI
at 2.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that. But AI to me is more of a combo guard.
He is a combo. He's more in that Derrick Rose type of area.
But I'm gonna give you that because MVP went to the chip by himself, lost obviously. I'm gonna give you that. AI 2.
Yep. So Magic 1, AI 2. I'm gonna go. This one might surprise you a little bit. I think I'm gonna go J Kidd at 3.
J Kidd. Okay. J Kidd. All right, I'll give you that. J Kidd. Not really. For me, J Kidd is more of he was a good offensive player, but more of his passing. Big point guard. I respect that. I would not expect you to have him on your top 5, but you got one. J Kidd.
Yep, J Kidd at 3. I gotta throw Kyrie at 4.
Kyrie in the top 5?
Gotta throw Kyrie at 4.
Why you put Kyrie in there?
So Kyrie, I think is just a guy that has mastered. He can pass the ball when he needs to, and I feel like that's the part of the game that kind of speaks to me. I mean, I'm a pass first guy, but I love the fact that he can just, his passing is overlooked, but his dribbling, his creativity, his creation in space is just nuts. And that's something that we don't see, or we probably won't see from the point guard's position probably after he's gone, at least at that level that he's at. We probably won't see that again.
Who do you think is a tougher person to guard, AI or Kyrie? That's been a question that a lot of people have been trying to ask. Who's harder to guard?
I think hardest to guard is Kyrie because he can shoot the 3 a lot consistently, man.
But what about AI's athleticism, though?
Well, Kyrie's super athletic too. I feel like his, AI in the post is not. He doesn't kill me as much in the post, I feel like, as Kyrie would. Kyrie's got that footwork thing on a lock, man. It's crazy to watch.
His footwork is ridiculous. I've seen videos of him balancing, trying to stay like this. Yep. I never seen no shit like you would think it's edited, bro.
Exactly.
Shit, but I'll give you that. I was having this argument too, with my boy. And he said I was bugging when I said Kyrie is probably tougher to guard than AI. Don't get me wrong, AI is more athletic. AI is probably a little bit quicker, but them handles is just different, bro.
Yeah.
He has so many moves in his arsenal. AI, he was just really fast and he had that one quick blow by. But Kyrie is a different breed.
It's very true.
Top 5, brother. I can't lie to you. Who you got 5?
5. See, this is a tough one because I usually have between John Stockton and Chris Paul, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask you about Chris Paul because Chris Paul's in my top 5, but we're talking about point guards.
Yeah.
But he's been getting so much flack lately from Stephen A, Patrick Beverly, JJ
Yep.
Redick. Do you think he's a little overrated? Do you think we give him too much credit for what he's done in his career?
Too much credit.
No championship. I mean, look at the Clippers. The Clippers were always the fourth seed, third seed. They were barely going to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
Let's talk about it, man. Like, do you think he's overrated, or do you think he deserves to be top 5 all time point guard?
I don't think he's overrated. I think his stats speak for themselves in terms of him getting his teammates involved. He's done it. I mean, he does it at a level like a Jason Kidd, like a John Stockton. Like you said, the only knock on him is that he hasn't really won, a lot of games in terms of when the playoffs start to happen, which is a downfall. But looking back at all of his teams, when he was playing with the Hornets and other teams like that, he didn't have many guys that were go-getters, not even all-stars at that fact. And he was getting it done with those guys and making those guys household names. So I can't knock, his talent in that case. He's made guys, like I said, a lot of guys that he's made, talented in terms of getting on ESPN and getting their rankings up, whatever. I would not have heard of them or bought their jerseys or whatever if he wasn't playing with them. That's for sure. He's made guys a lot of household names out here.
And who did you try to like take footage from? Like, who did you try to study when you played the position?
When I played the position, just NBA guys?
NBA guys, college guys. Like, who did you try to really pattern your game after?
I'll be honest with you, man. So when I was younger, I honestly tried to pattern my game after Hot Sauce from N1. That was my original guy.
That was the boy, bro. He was he was taking people's ankles.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I became a fan because of Hot Sauce, but Hot Sauce was my guy too. Even though like people are gonna clown street ball, but like street ball is different. Like Hot Sauce was a bona fide baller. Like,
yep.
I Hot Sauce. Okay, who else?
Yeah, I would say him. And then as I grew, there was a guy. Let me see if I can remember his name. There was a high school player by the name of Ray Jackson. He was a YouTube. Nah, he was probably about maybe 6 feet. He might have been like 6 feet.
6 feet. Okay.
Yeah, he was out of the California area, and I watched a lot of his Ball is Life videos, man. Like, I mean, everything that he did from just getting his teammates involved on the fast break to, finishing on the opposite side of the rim. I mean, I watched a lot of what he did, and that was a guy that I really, really wanted to be like. He just had a smoothness to his game. Super, super smooth with it.
Okay.
NBA player. I see NBA is tough because I feel like I watched a lot of Kyrie, but at the college I was at, I couldn't do a lot of the Kyrie stuff.
No.
So that's where I kind of had a problem with that. But I think I would have to say at that point, I kind of took a look more at Chris Paul. Just because of the fact that he was coming off of screens and getting into, his spaces. And there wasn't a lot of flashiness to it, but it was just a lot of getting where he needed to be, point A, point B, get his shot off. If not, he was hitting a guy in another position. I mean, it was very, very precise. So I feel like those are the guys that I just kind of keyed on, as I grew in my career.
Okay. Before we move on, I want to say one more thing, man. One thing I did like about your game is how quick you broke the press. Like, it was full court press. To be honest, you're probably the only one on that team that to break it. But no, I like you play really well defense. The coach, because I was able to see your games. The coach didn't really use you as you could have been used. Like, you were more of somebody that brought up the ball, which I was like, damn, they need to see more of his game. But one thing I really liked about you was the way you broke the press, the way you got it to your teammates. the way you were on the ball fender. It's a shame, bro. They didn't use you that much, but like to me, you were a true baller, bro. And like that potential they could have saw in you. I wish that they used you to your full potential, bro.
I
Definitely.
appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
Definitely. All right. So before we move on, bro, the finals. The finals is happening right now. Who you got winning the finals?
Honestly, I got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors too. Why you got the Warriors?
I got the Warriors just because of the mismatches. I feel like, and I mean, you kind of see it as of late. You got, I really love the Steph and the Al Horford mismatch that they get sometimes. It doesn't always happen because of the Celtics defense. They're able to kind of rotate those three. But when they get that Steph and Al Horford mismatch, it's a problem. And I feel like Steph is starting to figure out how to get in his space and bring him even further and hit those shots now. And I think it's messing up the Celtics' plans just a little bit.
I'm praying they beat the Celtics because we went to school with people from Maine, Boston, and they are the worst fans. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. And I cannot watch another Boston team win another championship. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what does the Warriors have to do to win? Because a lot of people are saying it's Draymond Green. Draymond Green fouled out. A lot of people are saying, Clay has to step up a little bit. What do you think is the key for the Warriors to take the series?
I mean, I honestly think the key is going to be their defense, just based off of it's got to be just shutting down one of those guys. Whether if it's, because the Celtics have to either have Jalen, Tatum, and who's my other guy? Even it's Marcus Smart at times. Like if they don't have three guys that just get into double figures or in those high double figures, 20s, the Celtics are going to have an issue at winning. It has to be a team effort for them. So, and I mean, it's the same thing that we saw the last game. I want to say like Al Horford had like 8 points. That's not going to get it done for the Celtics. Celtics got to have everybody in double figures. So if they can just key on, Tatum's going to get his. Jaylen Brown's going to have off nights. He's not going to be consistent all the way through. But, if they can just make it tough for those guys and, they continue to do their thing with Jordan Poole, Clay, and, they're going to get their buckets. That's just who they are. They're bucket getters. If they can continue to do that and they lock down on the defensive end, they should be fine.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. If the Celtics are the best when it comes to defense, but if Draymond could give me at least 10 or 11 points, these next two games, they definitely win the series. I think so. I definitely think so. All right, man. Let's talk about, bro. When I because I had to look on Facebook. I had to do my. Yeah. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Because I saw a bunch of likes, so I went to your profile, and yo, you wrote a book, bro.
Yeah.
Unfinished business. All right, my hoop journey, man. Like, first of all, before I have your answer, what made you want to write a book? Like, then that's a big step, bro. Like, I didn't even though we haven't talked in a minute, bro, I did not expect you to become an author. Now you're an author, bro. Like, what made you want to write this book?
So I'll be honest with you, man. So my high school career, man, was something special. I went to a team that, was winning maybe 4 out of 32 games a year. Just really, not a basketball known school. And, the coach that was there really took a chance on me, and I became a hell of an athlete under this guy. We broke a lot of barriers, and now the school itself is really a basketball school. When you hear this school, it's you shake a little bit knowing you got to play them now. And basically after my senior year, man, I love my group of guys. I felt, they were always going to be a part of me. And, like I said, we created something special. So a couple years ago, I was sitting around and I was like, man, we're coming up to our 10th anniversary at this point. And I was like, what about a documentary? Like, I really want to just be able to sit back and talk with every single one of my teammates and just, make something out of it. I mean, and Netflix is doing it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing documentaries.
Yeah.
And especially after watching The Last Dance, I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do a documentary. So I started sending out emails to all my friends. I was like, hey, like, let's do something. And you know how it is, everybody's like, yeah, I'm on board. Yeah. Then the second it's, time to do it, everybody flakes. So I was like, dang, what can I do? I had everything written down in terms of the points that I wanted to talk about. And I was just like, you know what, if no one's going to do it with me, I'm just going to jot it down. So during COVID, we're working from home, everybody's working from home. And I just started jotting things down little by little. And before I knew it, I was literally writing a book, and I was already like 8, 9, 10 chapters in. And, I just kept going with it. And by the time I finished, I kind of sat back and I was like, you know what? Like, this is from my perspective. I'm giving everybody the shine that I kind of wanted them to have in the documentary. Let me slap an actual cover on it, and let's just make a book out of it. And that's literally what I did.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, bro. Like, like, tell me, like, what was it like? What helped you become consistent? Because when you start something, it's hard to stay with it, bro. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm one of those people that stays consistent. Sometimes it's difficult for me to be consistent, and sometimes I do relapse. I do, I go into these stages where I forget about it. I'm like, all right, I'm done with it. Let me forget about it for a little bit, and maybe I'll come back to it.
Yep.
But the hardest thing in life is to stay consistent. What helped you stay consistent writing this book?
I think the easiest thing for me was I told my teammates kind of about it, at least the ones that were closest to me. I had 2 guys that were closest to me, Damien and Steven. And those are my we were the 3 amigos, I like to call us. We were 3 amigos in high school. So I told them, I was like, look, man, like, I'm writing this book.
Shout out Damien, by the way. That's the homie.
Yeah, Damien. Yeah. Shout out Damien. So I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm writing this book, and I don't know when I'm gonna finish it, but I'm writing it. So every time I would talk to them, they'd be like, hey, how's the book coming? And just having that conversation, it just, kept my mind like, oh, like, I told him I was going to do it. So now I got to get in here and do it. And at the same time, it was hard not to, a lot of times we get discouraged because we look at the finish line, right? So everything's just like, oh, I want to be there. But it's a matter of, I broke it down. Like, I'm going to wake up at, I don't know. I was waking up every day, like at 6 a.m. And I was writing like 10 pages at 6 a.m. Then I'd go back and kind of reread those pages at 6:30, 6:40. And by 7:15, the wifey's up now, but basically everything I've done, I've taken that time already, and I've already, started chopping away at the book. It's already getting chopped away at. And I just kept doing that every single day. And I'd be like, hey, I wrote 10 more pages today. Hey, I'm talking about you in this section today. Oh, I'm talking about this in this section today. So if I just kept doing that. And by the time a couple weeks down the line, a couple months down the line, it was done.
Damn, man. It sounds like one hell of a process. So what did you have to do before you published your book? Like, take me through the steps, like edit it, finding an editor, finding somebody that is gonna like analyze your book. Like, what was that like?
All right. So I wrote the entire thing, and the wifey's basically an ELA teacher, so she knows all about that English stuff. So I was like, you know what, like, I want you to read it, and just, X through it. Tell me if this is trash, if this is good, whatever. Tell me everything. Yeah. And she was like, nope, not touching it. I was like, man, so like, I don't, like, what do I do? Do I have to go give it to somebody else? Like, like, what do I do? So I literally just went to the beginning, and I read through the entire thing myself. Read through the entire thing over again. And I was Xing through stuff. I was like, nope, that's trash. That didn't happen here. It happened here. And I just, started making notes. So then I went back again and wrote through everything. And then after that, I talked to my high school coach, and I'm like, hey, like, what's the rules on, like, mentioning people's names and, locations and whatever. And he was like, like, there's resources, look them up. So then it was, kind of just going through that craft of like, hey, like, can I mention this person's name? Can I mention this person's location? Can I do this? Can I do that? And starting to figure out, all of the legal stuff behind things. So then it was having to go back to the beginning again and change all the names, change all the locations. I mean, it was literally that long of a process. And then after that, I didn't want to basically give a lot of the people here, like whether it's in Maine or whatever kind of publishing companies, I didn't really want to give them the more of the percentage to do the stuff for me. So basically I kind of took the idea from the way I did my shirts. I kind of did my shirts through another company that basically gave me majority of the percentage. When it still let me keep all my, all the rights to whatever I created and whatever else. So Amazon does this cool thing where you can basically take your book, they basically give you a template, you go to your Word document, you make sure the templates are good, you can create your own covers, your own backgrounds, whatever, and you literally just, throw it all into a file, and they do it for a low percentage. And they let you keep the rights, they let you set your price points, they let you do whatever you want, send it to out of country, in country, whatever. So you have a lot of that personal availability to do kind of whatever you want and still be able to keep your own rights to everything. So in doing that, I don't have to keep any actual hard copies on me. It's all through them. I can literally, advertise it through them, through the website, whatever. And, it was just an easy process to do through them. And, you don't have to, the cool thing is you don't have to go through, all these companies and whatever else, like the olden days. You don't have to do that anymore. Everything is right there for you on the website nowadays. So it just worked out.
It's that simple. So how long did it take you write the book? Did it take a year or did it take 6 months?
Took about a year and a half, man, actually.
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Okay. And let the people know, man, where can we find this book? I know you can get it on Amazon, but where else can we find it, man? Because I want to buy the book personally.
Yep.
Not just because I know you, because basketball is one of my favorite sports too. And just to listen to somebody else's journey. Like, I think a lot of people learn from listening to other people, and I think it could be a great read. But where can we find this book?
Yeah, so actually the only place to find it is on Amazon as of right now. If you go to Amazon.com and you just type in Unfinished Business, My Hoop Journey, or Unfinished Business, Michael Atkins, it's going to be the first thing that pops up. You have the Kindle version and you have the hard copy. I personally like the hard copy.
You want the Kindle, you want the hard copy? Which one you want? You got the book for us to see on camera?
Actually, I do. Let me see.
Let me see. Let's see it.
Yeah. So this is the book right here, man.
Unfold. Business, My Hoop Journey Unfold. Yes.
This is it right here, man. This is basically I have a lot of questions on the size of it, man. It's basically 8 by 11, and I did it this way honestly because it reminded me of like an old Sports Illustrated magazine.
It does kind of give you that vibe. It does.
Yeah.
So are you gonna write another book? Like, does this one book motivate you to keep going? Because, dude, writing a book is difficult. I hate it. Listen, I hate it. I hated homework. Like, you ain't gotta give me the right shit. So, like, are you gonna write another one? Like, does this motivate you to write another one, or it's like, I did it, whatever?
I'll be honest with you, man. The way I ended this one, it leaves room for the second. And the thing that I like about this one is that it's more through even listening, when I read it back and I'm like hearing myself, it's like I'm talking through like my high school like voice. So it's like, okay, like there was a lot of growth after this. So I feel like that second book, if I decide to write it, which I've kind of, did the outline to it. There's a lot of stuff in that second book. But it's not going to be something that I kind of have to think about it, because it's not going to be something that's very, very sweet. There's a lot of heartfelt moments in this second book if I go through with it. There's a lot of, obviously names and locations and all that will get switched up, but there's a lot of people that I still, talk to and that I still love to this day that will probably be hurt by some of the things that they will see that I went through. So, it's just a matter of me just trying to come to terms with it and maybe going through with it. But, I'm still teeter-tottering on if I want to go with it or not.
Okay. Yo, now we're gonna get into, because like I said, man, you're diverse with it. Now we're gonna get into your clothing brand, bro. Consistency. What made you want to do? What made you want to go into the clothing business? What made you want to experience this idea, bro?
I'll be honest with you, bro. It started with you.
Word.
It started with you.
Word. Oh, yo.
Yeah.
I'm so honored, man. Thank you, man. Let me know what's up.
Yeah. So it started with you. I remember I was in school, and it was one of the first. Actually, not even one of the first weeks. It might have been like the second week, maybe even the third week. You were doing the pull-up challenge.
Yeah, I got called out. Called out.
Yeah, you were doing the pull-up challenge, and I just kept seeing you come through on my timeline. You just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I don't remember if you had tagged me one time in it or if I just decided to do it. I don't know if I was just motivated or whatever, man. But
I think I did.
Yeah, you might have tagged me in it. And I ended up doing it. And I remember I felt like terrible because I was like, damn, I'm getting like 6 of these mugs. I can't, like, everybody else is doing 10, everybody's doing 20, and I'm doing like 6. And I kind of felt like, I was like, man, like I gotta get to 10. Like I'm gonna get to 10 at some point. And I just kept doing it. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And then by the time I got to like day 20, I was knocking out close to like 10, like super, super easy. Yeah. And the cool part about it was, I mean, it was just like, I was finding stupid locations. It was like, oh, there's a fence. Like I'm going there and I'm going to do them real quick. Oh, it's almost nighttime.
Yeah, how you live.
How you live. I was like, man, anywhere I can find a pole, like I got to do it. Like I got to make sure I do these 10. And I remember, I don't know if you had posted something about staying consistent, or if I had mentioned something like that. And basically what happened is after that, I was like, you know what? Like if I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to be infinite with it. I'm always going to be consistent. So that's where the name came in, Infinity Consistency. And basically that logo is the infinity consistency sign, but basically I put it in a circle because it's just always going. So that's where the whole entire slogan came from, and that's where the clothing brand came from.
Explain some of your shirts, because some of your shirts have different meanings. I know you have some for the LGBTQ, simple messages for other shirts. Explain some of your shirts.
Yeah, so I had a few. I have Iron right in the front, which is basically just bringing, promotion to the brand and what it is. And after that, I did the Infinity Consistency with the weights on it, which is just for people that love to weight lift, stay healthy, get in the gym, things like that. I have another one for my basketball fans with the Infinity Consistency logo, but it's made to look like 2 basketballs, and it has like that leathery grain of the ball type on the logo, which I love. I also have another one that's, like you said, spoke to kind of the LGBTQ community. It has like the same logo, but it's all in different colors and, colors of the rainbow and stuff like that. And there's so many more, man. I even have one that I made for the wifey as well, that speaks to the education part of things, with the pencil and the apple in the middle of the logo. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I made, I gotta say, close to maybe 20 different basically options. But yeah, I haven't looked at those in a while, man, just based off of creating the book. I kind of took a step back from that.
Yeah, you got other things, bro. But
yeah.
What platforms did you use to produce the shirts, and how were you able to like get your shirts on like the platform and like the pricing, the shipping?
Yeah.
How were you able to do that? Those things.
Yeah. So a lot of the creating of it, I just basically did it on an iPad. And it has I can't remember the exact name of the software that I use, but it's basically everything from the stencils to the whole nine. I can create whatever I want. I can copy paste, put it together however I want. And I basically took that screenshot and was able to use Bonfire, which is a awesome apparel creator. They have a couple things you can do with long sleeves, hoodies, regular t-shirts. I think even polos now at this point, masks, water bottles, whatever. I mean, handbags, whatever. And you basically just copy and paste that into their program, and it automates up. You can create it however big or small. And they have this cool feature that you can use for hashtags. So you can, if it's hashtag infinity consistency, hashtag health, wealth, hashtag sports, or whatever you want. And anybody can basically go on there and find your shirt, either by your title, by a hashtag. If they want, something to do with sports or basketball, health, wealth, whatever, your shirt will pop up. And the same thing with the pricing. They kind of let you choose whatever you want to do for pricing. Obviously, like, you got to decide on the kind of profit you want, but majority of that comes from whatever decision you want to make. And the same deal when it comes to me having to actually hold any t-shirts here. I don't have to do any of that. It's all through them. You purchase through them. I keep majority of all the profits. And yeah, like I said, it's almost the same thing like Amazon. It's basically where I got the Amazon idea from. I mean, I don't have to do a lot of the hard labor at all. Like I said, it's all onto other people.
Hey, yo, do you do international shipping?
I think they do. I think Bonfire does. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get me a shirt. I ain't trying to be like that one cousin. Like, cuz, let me get one for free. I want to actually pay for it. But like, if it's international shipping, I want to get my hands on a shirt, man. Like, dude, it feels good to support people that I know. So
Absolutely.
get a shirt, brother. Let me get a shirt, man. Like,
I got you, bro.
I definitely rock it out here. For people don't know, I'm in Spain. Rock it out here in Spain, and like, yo, support my boys' business, bro. Like, I would love to do that. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yo, so I'm gonna talk to you about a few more things.
Yeah.
You talk about you're coaching. You want to be more of a coach as you progress. Why do you want to be a coach? Like, what makes you want to take that next step? Because if you got patience, it's good for you. But some people that don't got patience, coaching is not something you should get into.
Yep.
Why do you want to become a coach?
I'll be honest with you. Like I said, my high school coach, he's like a second father to me, man. And he's someone that has, I can call up at any point and just talk about whatever. I don't care if it's financial. I don't care if it's sports related. I don't care if it's, whatever. He has my back. And I just want to give that same kind of feeling to a lot of these other kids. Matter of fact, just yesterday, I just finished my my first AAU season with the team out here, called the Thunder, out of Saco and XL.
Okay, how do y'all do? That's what's up.
We didn't do too bad. I'll be honest, man. We have a lot of kids that are, to be completely honest, like, so I keep it 100. There's a lot of kids that, didn't get the chance to make their JV team, didn't get the chance to reach their varsity goal, or, just didn't make the team in general. And a lot of the time it's not because of their talent per se, but it's a lot of just not understanding the game of basketball.
Right.
Everybody gets out there and wants to be able to play 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and can play street, whatever. But once you get in between those lines, and you have to understand, what a fade screen is, how to hedge, or how to run a defense, how to do those little bitty things that will take you to the next level. A lot of them couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So, getting the chance to teach them, the basics, and to get them to understand it and then expand their bag on that, it's been great. And after this season, I expect a lot of them to be able to reach their potential, to reach their goals, whether it's JV, varsity, and definitely keeping that family dynamic, with me going to their games and, cheering them on and them still seeing my face, not just at the AAU level, but also when they're playing in their high schools. That's what it's all about, man, for me. I definitely want to be a high school coach at some point as well. I don't know at what school it'll be in Maine, but that's definitely what I want to do. I also want to be fair to these kids, man. Like I said, I don't want to be that guy like I experienced when I went to college, where I was told this is going to happen, it's going to be like this, and then I ended up getting screwed. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that tells them up front what their role is, hold them to that role. And if they grow to be, to be that much more and get a whole new role, I want to be there for that too and explain to them what that's going to be like. So, I just want to be fair, and that's why I'm here.
Right. Yo, give me your top 3 basketball movies.
Basketball moves. Oof.
Yeah, movies. Yeah, movies.
Movie.
Hey, yo, I might judge you on this, brother, if your list is kind of suspect. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right. In order.
That's how we do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with up front. I gotta go with Glory Road, number 1.
Yes, bro. I know you're from El Paso, but that movie go hard.
Yeah. Glory Road is number 1. Number 2, I gotta go Space Jam, the original Space Jam.
Yeah, we're not gonna put the second one in there. No disrespect to Bron. Bron, my favorite player of all time, but that shit was garbage. It was so hard. The first 30 minutes, it was garbage.
It was all right.
I can't say, bro. Like, they did too much. They did too much for something that like shouldn't have been. Like, listen, obviously LeBron's not gonna be able to copy the first one. The original one is just too good.
Yep.
But like, damn, he did too much. I didn't like it. I didn't like the editing. I didn't. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm for the technology and all this, but it was too much. It was a little bit too much. All right, so we got Space Jam. What else?
Yeah, my third one. That's a tough one. When you're talking about growth, straight growth, I think I'm gonna have to go. I don't know, because I'm split between Coach Carter and what's the other one? My one with Tupac in it.
Oh, Above the Rim.
Above the Rim.
Yes.
Above the Rim. But I'm gonna Nah, man. I gotta go with Above the Rim.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy. Listen, Coach Carter is an honorable mention. I like Coach Carter, but like every time, BET has played that shit out so much. I'm not like those are the two, Baby Boy and Coach Carter. BET has played it out so much. I can't even throw Coach Carter in the top 5 anymore. But Above the Rim is a classic, bro.
Yeah, it's a slept on movie right there.
It is slept on because even though Pac is in the movie, bro, like street ball, the 90s, like it was really heavy. Rucker Park, that time, like I think is probably one of the best sports movies of all time. Hands down, like the drama in it, I just think it was perfectly filmed. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's real, man. I think it's a real situation that a lot of kids face, not just in New York, but everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Definitely. So, fans, if y'all don't know, my man Mike is also a father, bro. One thing I really got to know about you and I really like was like, because at first when I met you, I was like, yo, this dude is like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, he's hella cool. And he's well disciplined, bro. Like, there's gotta be something. And then I think Damon was the one that told me, yo, he got kids. I was like, damn, bro, like I understand why he works so hard. It's like you're one of the people I know that work really hard, bro. Like, that's one thing I admired about you when I went to school with you. I was like, dude, this dude was always working hard. He's staying motivated. He he has something. Like he has a responsibility he got to take care of. So
Right.
if you can, bro, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about fatherhood, bro. Like, right, you got a beautiful daughter. Tell us a little bit about the fatherhood, bro. Being a
Yeah.
father.
So I'll be honest with you, man. Like my fatherhood role, like I said, is not the norm. Without getting into too much detail, but like I said, it's not the norm. I don't have, my daughter obviously has her mom and also me as well. But no, we are not together. And it didn't start out, it wasn't always like that. Like I said, we went through our rough patches and obviously we had a rough split and everything else. But, it's not an easy task. It's something that will test you every single day, whether it's, not being able to FaceTime when you want to, missing those calls because you're at work or, whatever the case is. But let me tell you, at the same time, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to, when you do get that time to spend the time with your kid, and just be able to watch them grow, whether it's, in whatever situation they're in, you meet them where they're at. And you enjoy those moments, you create those moments for them. And you just try to give them more than what you had. And I feel like at this point, I feel like I've done a great job, as well as her mom as well. She's done a great job of giving Layla a lot more than what we both had, and just giving her best of both worlds, man. But yeah, to anyone I would say that's a father out there, I would just say to continue to always want to be there. Stay disciplined, because at the end of the day, they're watching your every move. They're watching what you do. They're watching your habits. They're watching how you handle yourself. They're watching how you handle adversity. They're watching all of that, and they're learning, and they will do exactly what you're doing. And like I said, that's just how things work. But yeah, fatherhood is amazing, man. It's a great feeling. Great feeling.
I have some friends, man. I have a couple other friends that are dads too, and they tell me once the kid is born, you hold that kid for the first time. It's a different feeling. What was that feeling for you? Like, was it like, oh, yo, this is real, or like, yo, it's time to grind now?
I'll be honest with you, man. It was scary at first. It was very,
Mm.
very scary, especially because of the timing. The timing wasn't everything. For me, because I didn't, obviously, like, I was 19, I was young, I was still trying to figure out things about college. But I knew I had a responsibility. I knew that I had to go and grind for something to be able to come back and give that baby something. And like I said, a lot of it is what you saw when you talk about the focus and the drive, and a lot of that's where it all came from. I knew that my purpose wasn't just there for the 4 years, but what was I going to do in those 4 years to provide after that? And that's where a lot of that drive came from. And not only that, man, but like I said, the backing that, a lot of people don't talk about this, but the backing that I had with, my parents and, them being the great grandparents that they are, I don't get as far as I do without them. Without them pushing me and showing me the way how to, giving me that, the drive and all the lessons that I learned to be the guy that I am. I'm not the father I am without them. So a lot of that comes from them as well.
Shout out to the parents, man. Shout out to the parents, for real. Um, tell us a little bit about what's the future for you? Like, do you have any goals that you want to achieve within these next couple of years? Like, what is the plan? What is your next move?
My next move, honestly, man, like I said, I think my next move is finding a place to coach. Wherever that might be, whatever school that might be at. And at the same time, not a knock on the job I have now. Like I said, I love the job I have now with, working with the special ed department and, helping those kids out that some have kind of thrown to the wayside. I love that. But at the same time, I feel like there's something else out there for me. Still trying to find it. And so I'm only 27. I'm still young, but like I said, I got a lot of searching to do. I'm still trying to find myself, find a spot that I'm comfortable in. But I feel like basketball is opening up some doors for me. So I'm going to continue to follow that and see where that leads me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And what would like So one thing before we end the show, we like to give a message.
Yeah.
What's your message to the people coming after you, like the youth? What message do you want to give them, and how can we inspire them moving forward, bro?
The message I would want to give, honestly, man, always stay consistent, stay on the grind. Um,
Mm.
if you, like I said, you got to be always doing something and moving forward. Don't get complacent. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I feel like a lot of times we stay put where we are just because we know the surroundings, we know the people, we know usually what the outcome is. But you grow usually where where you don't know people, you don't know situations, you don't know what your next day is going to be like. That's where you grow the most. And you meet new connections, and those people meet people, and then you start to meet other people that they know, and that's just a part of growth. Don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's definitely what I would say to the people coming up, after us.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to grow, man. This journey that I haven't been on, like leaving the states for one, and then coming to a different country. Like for me, it was a big step. I didn't know the
Absolutely.
language. I didn't know the language. Didn't know the people. They don't really got that flavor that we got like with the music and all that stuff. So it was
Yep.
really hard to like listen to reggaeton every day, listen to you know what I'm saying? It was really difficult for me at first, but I knew that in the future that I could look back on it and say, yo, I did it. And
Yeah.
um I think even though my journey is continuing just like yours, it's true, bro. Like once you get out of your comfort zone, I think that's when life really starts working for you. And I think that's
Absolutely.
when a lot of doors open. Um, so before we finish, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
What was the hardest step you had to take in life so far?
The hardest step I had to take in life so far.
So far.
Whoo, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Hardest step. Honestly, man, I'll never forget um when I came to Maine for the first time.
Mm.
I remember, saying goodbye to my kid after like she probably wasn't even what 2, 3 months old yet. Um, and I remember just saying goodbye for the first time. Um, Going, like I said, going to a place that's uncharted territory. I don't know anything about, hadn't visited, don't know anyone, um, and trying something on a whim. You know what I mean? Just trusting that wherever I went, whatever I was doing was supposed to be the thing for me, and trusting in myself to that I was going to be able to go down there.
Oh, it's camera close.
Um, in El Paso, basically after like 3 months after my daughter was born, and picking up and going to somewhere that I just had no idea about, which was Maine, coming to college. And like I said, not knowing anyone, not knowing anything, not knowing anything about what I was getting into. Um, Boarding a flight, and like I said, just as things dwindled down, kind of being the only person that looked like me, and going to a school where nobody looked like me,
Oh,
and dealing with all of that, and at the same time trying to balance basketball, school, being a father, being present, all of that, I feel like has definitely been the toughest thing that I've had to experience. Like I said, I missed, and within all that, there was a lot of stuff that I missed. I missed out on some growing time, with my kid. I missed out on some moments. But at the end of the day, I'm here now, and I'm able to provide way more than I probably ever could have way back when, a couple years ago. So that I think that's basically the hardest thing I probably have had to go through, I would say.
yeah, man. Thank you for sharing, bro. Yo, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. Just a thought. It's been a pleasure to have you on, share your story. Um, Guys, I want you guys to go check out his book, man. Unfinished business. Yes, unfinished. You can also go check out his clothing, Infinity Consistency. Dude, I'm glad. I'm thankful for our relationship that we got. I'm happy that we stayed in touch, bro. I'm always gonna be a supporter of yours. I would love to see you continue to grow. Thank you so much for being on this week's podcast, buddy.
Hey, absolutely, bro. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, yo, it's been a blessing, brother. Yes.